do this. Water, please. Ah, yes. Oh, this is lovely. You guys are going to enjoy a nice, shiny 5-head, all episode long. We've got a few things to talk about. We're going to ask a question, and I'm going to be checking out what the audience has to say about this. What would the world be like if Mark Zuckerberg were the president of the United States, and what would he do? So I threw that question on Twitter. We'll get to that in the second half of the episode. So if you don't care about anything else, you just want to know what the world will be like according to our audience members, just skip ahead, yeah. But right now, we're going to talk about internet censorship. We never talk about that, do we? There's a new internet censorship bill that is in, I guess it's in the House or something, in Congress. And it's called something that you can't really fight against. It's called the Stop Enabling Sex Traffickers Act. When something's called the, don't molest children, or the Stop Sex Traffic, or whatever, if you come out and say anything bad about it, you are a monster who may also be a pedophile or a sex trafficker or just a completely evil douchebag. That's what you are. So it's going to be really hard to fight against this. Now, why is this so dangerous? What's wrong with stopping sex trafficking? Well, nothing. Sex trafficking is not a joke. It's fucking despicable, and the people that do it should be, their genitals should be put into a cheese grater. So here's the deal. Back in 1997, there was like a Communications Decency Act or something of that nature, and there was a section in there that was beautiful for the internet. Most of it was crap, but there was one section in it that was beautiful for the internet. Luckily, the Supreme Court came in and said, no, most of this censorship is just garbage, and they threw it out, but they kept this one section, Section 230 of this act, and that section said that if someone goes onto another website and posts a bunch of crap, the website owner is not responsible for it. Now think about this. We've got Imgur, you've got Reddit, you've got our forums, you've got a whole bunch of other websites, Facebook and all that stuff, where just regular community members come and they just post all kinds of crap. If one of those guys posts something illegal or something dangerous, the website is not responsible for that. They can't control all of it. Well, in this new Sex Traffic Act, it looks like all the different, outlets are going to be responsible for the comments of their community. So what's going to have to happen if this goes into effect is companies like Google and Facebook and all these whatever, they're all going to have to police everything that goes on their site. And if they don't, they could be liable for all the damages that are caused by comments and videos and images and content that's posted by other people. That's pretty much going to put small companies out of business. We won't be able to do anything. I mean, like, if someone comes and drops like something awful on our website, we're out of luck. So there has to be a way to fight this, and we can't just let them get away with this by adding all these little censorship things into it as, like, oh, it's just part of the sex traffickers thing. I mean, they've worded the entire thing, water. Ah, yes. All right, moving on to the next, but you guys can look into that. If that goes into effect, it could do a lot of damage to small companies on the internet. You guys want to reverse aging? There's some interesting new techniques that are coming out, and one of those is telomeres at the end of, I guess, what's the mitochondria. Basically, it's making old cells able to continue to repair themselves, and the cells aren't really aging like they used to. In fact, they're actually reversing aging in some things. Now, they started this research with children who have a disease that makes them age rapidly, and they're having heart attacks and strokes and stuff at the age of 12 and 13, and then dying prematurely because their cells are aging too fast. So they started this research there, but this research could be applied to basically anybody. Now, RNA, that's like the stuff that controls the DNA, sometimes more important than the DNA. And looking at that may be the solution to telling the DNA in the cells what to do. In more anti-aging stuff, if you guys want to live forever, cryogenics may also be a solution until they come up with the real anti-aging stuff that's stuff we can't comprehend yet. So right now, cryogenics is like, really fast freezing to extremely low temperatures. They freeze your body, or they freeze whatever it is, your heart, your lungs, your brain, who knows. Right now, the problem with it is anything larger than like a few cells and stuff, like just some sperm samples or whatever, anything larger than that, when they try to unfreeze it, the tissue kind of breaks and tears. It just doesn't work correctly. Well, they've made a huge breakthrough. They've used some nanoparticles to go in and evenly reheat everything at the same time. And they were actually able to take human samples and some pig samples, like pig, flesh or whatever, I don't know. They were able to, rewarm this, and it didn't damage the tissue. So Now we have to see if we can do this with something that once was alive and bring it back to life. That'll be the next step in this, but that's a pretty big breakthrough because before we just like, all right, let's freeze it, and you know, if you're a rich guy, you can spend a couple $100,000 or probably a few $1 million and get yourself frozen for years and years and years and years and years until we figure out a cure for whatever the hell you had before you were about to die, and then we froze you instead, or maybe right when they freeze you. And some of it's kind of weird, and sometimes they take your whole body, and sometimes they're like, no, we can't afford the whole body. Let's just get the basic package where as soon as you're, dead or whatever, they cut off your head, freeze your head, and then figure, in 100 years when we have the technology to unfreeze you, we'll also grow you a body. But anyway, this is one step towards that sort of future. More science stuff. We're starting off the science, then we'll get to Zuckerberg and some hardware in a minute. And if you guys are looking for stuff about Threadripper, we don't have one of those yet. Really freaking want one, AMD, for my music creating rig. It'd be awesome. Anyway, so this is an article that's been all over the internet, and I'm just going to be really quick on this. You can earn 6 figures by protecting the Earth from aliens. Well, if you look at any of these articles or any of the details about what's going on with this job posting, yes, you can earn 6 figures, and yes, you have to be pretty qualified with an advanced STEM degree and a few other things, engineering, who knows. The bottom line here is that it's not really a job about building up an arsenal to protect the universe from alien invasion or anything like that. We're not doing, like Independence Day here. It's really about protecting other planets from contamination from Earth, as in like every time we go into outer space, there has to be at least a 1 in 10,000 chance or fewer that we're going to drop any microbes or contaminated or whatever, because it could, who knows what it could do? Who knows if the next civilization couldn't accidentally be started? Who knows if we weren't started by accident when an alien ship landed here and dropped a microbe that slid into the sea? Maybe it was already in the sea, then it slithered out of the sea.
If every person in China stood on a chair and jumped off at the same time, it would knock the Earth off its axis. 20% of the world's population lives in China.
All right, let's talk about Mark Zuckerberg. He has hired the top Clinton pollster, and he says he's not running for president, but he's doing lots of fishy things. Like right now, he's going around the country and he's meeting people, just meeting the regular Americans to figure out what they're all about. He thinks it's going to be good for his business. And now he's hired the top pollster, and he wants to get his finger on the pulse of the nation to figure out what the world is like for his own empire. But other people are now speculating, could this be a 2020 run for Mark Zuckerberg? Could this technocrat be ready to go? Could this happen? So, out of curiosity, I asked the audience, what do you guys think? What would happen if Mark Zuckerberg were president? I see him turning us into a nation of SJWs, and that's a dead serious answer. Not a country I want to live in, all right? I assume he would make the correct business moves and make himself as wealthy as possible, basically the same as now. Sell out to another country, how about that idea? He would quickly learn that the government doesn't move at the same speed as business. Here's a good one. Mess up the United States like all the demo rats. You bunch of demo rats. Mandatory citizen voting with dislikes and emojis. Okay, yes. Science would cease to be left on the back burner if Mark Zuckerberg were president. So he would bring science to the forefront. Okay. He would make the U.S. competitive with Estonia in internet access. He would use his access to the biggest surveillance and propaganda tool in the world to make himself richer and forget about the common people, probably. That is something I want to hit on right here. This is going to be freaking hot. Oh God, I can feel the sweat beating under me in this 93-degree weather. Camille says, I actually thought that the country is driven by by someone else, someone higher, and that the POTUS is more of a brand image thing. Guys, Mark Zuckerberg don't want to be the president. He's trying to get his finger on the pulse of the nation. If and when he decides to run for president, it ain't going to be because he cares about the little man or anything like that. Guys like Mark Zuckerberg always have this mentality where it's not like, hey, I'm with all of you guys. We're all together in this. They don't have that mentality. Their mentality is like, hey, I'm up here above you guys, and here's what you're going to do for me, and here's what I'm going to do to help you. Like, oh, look at me helping all the little people. I'm going to go around and create free internet that's through Facebook because I'm going to help all the people that are under me. That's how he's going to work with this stuff. And when he becomes president, if he does decide to become president, in which case, if he runs, he might win, unless he's against Musk. What he's going to do is, he's going to take all the surveillance tools that are available to him, and he is going to create a state where something like Facebook, it won't be Facebook because that's his little business. It'll be something connected to Facebook, and you'll connect your Facebook account to it and all that sort of thing. We'll have an international database that China will be envious of. They'll know everything you do, everywhere you go, every purchase you make, and it'll all be under the guise of, look how much better we are making your life. Look at us rich folks helping you poor people who roll around in shit all day. That's what's gonna happen. That wasn't really a conspiracy theory, but thing's too hot. Just give me this fucking thing. Yes! Also, Marcus got to take a look at a new smartphone from the company named Red. They're the company that makes those crazy cameras that everyone in Hollywood uses, right? Jesus. So this phone is massive. It's big and bulky and fancy and has a huge price tag. It's got some weird like holographic display that you can turn on and off that they haven't shown anybody yet. But the interesting thing here is that it has all kinds of spots where you, like all kinds, but like it has a few different spots where you can attach things. Big camera bump, but you can put an even bigger camera on the back, like right here. And they're saying that that camera may give you maybe quality that's almost as much as one of the mirrorless cameras out there in the market. And you see it's got the red connector on the bottom there. I'm thinking that this thing is going to be a phone, yes, but it's also going to be something that, a cinematographer will use as an accessory for some of the cameras, because let's face it, Red is a company that sells really expensive gadgets that can't do anything without accessories. They'll give you a little box and you're like, here, this is a beer, but it's you cannot open it unless you buy our special opener, and you can't drink it unless you buy our special straw, and you can't digest it unless you buy our enzyme. Let's talk about video games, but first we're gonna go see what we're playing. I'm playing a little bit of Tacoma. I'll go check that out, and then we'll see what Justin's playing. You guys like walking simulators? How about space walking simulators? We're checking out Tacoma right now. These games are pretty heavy on the narrative, kind of short, basically interactive movies, not a lot of violence. Well, actually, not a lot, there's pretty much no violence. And they're all about the plot and the story and the characterizations and the little nuances. So if you're someone who wants to like rip zombies apart and blow people's heads up, it's not going to be your cup of tea. But if you're someone who wants like an interactive experience, sort of like a movie, or if you're someone who just really enjoys a relaxing walking simulator, this may be a game for you. Now, I haven't gotten that far into this one, but it's supposedly similar to Gone Home, except it's in outer space now and there's more characters to interact with, so I'm going to put these in my ears. Well done, effects.
Hello.
Pretty polished.
Lunar Transfer Station Tacoma's Operational Data Interface Network.
Press tab. Alright, the movements and stuff are really well done. There's my little computer. Hit tab, it accesses my computer. Alright, so I'm going to keep looking around in this game, but if you're in the mood to play something fast, take a break. But when you want to break, you can come back and play this. So I'm actually enjoying the ambiance and the environment of this game, but I'll need to get more into it to know how much I like it. So right now, I can go ahead and recommend this for people who like games with layers of ambience and attention to detail. There's a lot of nuance here. But as far as the overall plot goes, I'll let you guys know in about a week or so what I think. I'm going to go ahead and play it now.
In the midst of the tutorial part, but what I've been playing so far, I've been enjoying. You get to, do like tower defense. You get to do...
It's like Plants vs. Zombies as far as
the animation style. Yeah, it's a little kind of cartoony, but it's
really stutters. Is it overheating?
Probably
overheating.
With the heat today, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
So far, I've gotten to like build up my own structures to defend things. There's a structure back here. You get to lay traps, and so far you don't need other people to win. It seems, but it helps. I think people that want a nice co-op experience maybe have kind of that building feel of, say, like Fallout 4. And you got cool upgrade weapons. I'm a little ahead of the game because I got the like special Founders bonus extra stuff, so I have a little bit more souped up weapons than what one would normally start with. But it's neat. I've been enjoying playing with other people. They're like really focused on fostering a really positive community and stuff.
Good
which
luck.
is really cool. Yeah, I'm anxious to see how that plays out once this starts picking up steam a little bit. I want to play more of this, definitely.
Cool.
I'm hooked. I want to try more.
Did you have some water there?
Oh, don't mind if I do.
Yes. Guys, check out this GTA 5 if you're really wanting to up your graphics and make it look more realistic. GTA 5 NaturalVision. They just came out with the newest version of that. And here's the benefit of that. It doesn't use any ENBs or reshades, so it doesn't affect your FPS that much, but it looks amazing. You guys can come down here and take a look at this video. It just looks much more natural and everything. The skies look nice and dark at nighttime. I still haven't played GTA that much, but if I did, I would want to run it with something like this. But I really like the fact that this doesn't affect the FPS much. So there's that.
So, Prey, if you recall, we talked about Prey a few episodes back when we were young and naive and still in the old office. Prey is getting a big patch for a game that was supposed to be perfect upon launch.
I will say that it wasn't that bad on launch. There weren't that many bugs that were reported, so they did a pretty good job.
It's just one of those things that it was like, you knew this was going to happen when the owner of when Arcane Studios was like, no, it's going to be perfect at launch, don't worry. Perfect. You knew they were setting themselves up for being like this exact thing where they're like, okay, well, we got to release a patch, and then someone's going to be like, excuse me. I was told this was supposed to be perfect. Your integrity is out the window completely now.
I want to know if you guys have continued to play Prey, and the ones who have played the game all the way to the end, because I have not done that yet. I've only played the first little piece of the game, and then I got too many other games to do, and then and then we had to move and everything. So, how is the game compared to like the old classics like Deus Ex, System Shock, Thief, and all those games? I've heard from some who have played it all the way through that it's a nice and difficult game, and it is very good even compared to the old games like System Shock. Possibly better than BioShock. Is it?
I've heard that as well. I would like to know. I've only played the initial opening of it myself before I got waylaid by other games as well.
I mean, speaking of getting waylaid by other games,
yeah.
PlayerUnknown. Really excited about this because now we have an FOV slider for first-person view. Finally! And we have a grenade button, so now I can actually sit down and enjoy this game instead of curse at the controls like I normally do when I play this game. I play it a lot, but I'm usually like, God, the fucking stings. FOV looks like I've got 2 toilet paper tube rolls on my eyes. It's so narrow. Yeah. It's like console mode. Now we have an FOV slider, and now we have a dedicated first-person mode for first-person servers, so we can get in there and not have people who do wall hacks with the third-person camera turny thing. I think it'll be more stealthy and also more suspenseful, so I'm going to jump in and play some of that. Hey, multiplayer Stardew?
Yes, so Stardew Valley is finally getting its multiplayer that everybody has been asking for. They are going to be adding some new farmhouses where you can actually like request your friends to come in and be part of your farmhands and stuff. They can join in, and the people joining you in multiplayer, even though you're the primary player, they still have the majority of the same control that the primary player has. The only thing that they won't really get to do is decide like when it's time to go to bed and when like festivals and stuff start and end. But it's really awesome because now everyone's gonna be able to play together. They also mentioned that they wanted to have interplayer marriages available. So they said that that is something that they are working on, and you're gonna have to work just as hard as you would to try to marry an NPC, but it's gonna be, now you can have your World of Warcraft marriages all over again.
And maybe you have some IRL marriages that come out of that.
Oh my god. I want to hear all those stories.
And then your baby will die when you forget to feed them because you're playing Stardew Valley in World of Warcraft. We don't really need to talk about this.
Yeah, whatever.
The drama
people
surrounding
are
this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to skip the drama
Okay,
around
people
that
are
thing.
butthurt. The end.
The internet. People are butthurt.
The internet. People are butthurt. Hey, that's a good t-shirt idea.
We haven't made a new t-shirt in a while because I've been focused on so many different things, but
we have some artwork in the
we've got a lot in the pipe.
One in the
we got like 5 or 6 t-shirt ideas that are really ridiculous. I was gonna wait until we start making more content to start throwing those out there, because then, you know, more eyes watching and the content and that sort of thing. But yeah, we've got some ridiculous stuff. Do you guys want to see some new t-shirt designs? Let me know. I'll throw them up online, and maybe you guys can vote for which one comes first. That'll be a good idea.
There you go.
Otherwise, we had a lot of people requesting inbox. Thank you kindly. Keep that up. Yes, that's the spot. What's in my ear?
Oh God, you're gonna get Swimmer's ear on land.
Check us out on Patreon. Thanks very much for that. That'll continue. That'll go completely into Tech Syndicate and getting new people to come in and help us with our content as we work on tons of other things. If you guys want to see some inbox videos, send us a question. Inbox@techsyndicate.com.
Yeah,
had lots of requests for that. And
we haven't got any questions though.
Yep, so
lots of requests and questions.
We'll set up the inbox and get that going. Ask anything. Hardware, technology. I'll fix your marriage. I'll solve alien invasions. Maybe I should get hired by NASA.
6 figures.
Let's get the AC back on. See you guys later.